I'm gonna be telling you guys about the time that I almost got trafficked and kidnapped in a baby store in Texas. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, MissErinYvette, and today I'm gonna be doing a story time. I ain't even gonna lie, I'm about to get comfortable. I'm just gonna give y'all an update. Let me show you my stomach. Okay. Woo! Okay. Yeah, baby. I'm gonna be telling you guys about the time that I almost got trafficked and kidnapped in a baby store in Texas. My friends were harassing me for a while to do my baby registry. With this being my first child, I'm so used to buying gifts. I'm not used to asking people for anything really, let alone asking them for expensive gifts. Because y'all know baby stuff. Baby stuff can get up there. So I really didn't know what to put on my registry, and I was kind of titter-tattering with it. So I decided to go to a baby store basically to see what a baby store actually is. When the last time you shopped in the baby store just because? Like, exactly. So I decided to go to a baby store, and I went by myself because, like, right now in Florida, I go everywhere by myself. I go everywhere by myself all the time. That's just what I do. One of the craziest comments that I got, or I usually get, because I did post my story on TikTok. If you want to see the shorter version, you know, our attention spans are real mere now. You can go on TikTok and see the short version. But a lot of people were saying, oh, well, you shouldn't have went out without protection. You shouldn't have went out by yourself. Y'all, if I show you my protection, this video is going to get demonetized and they're probably going to delete my channel. So can we just stop blaming people first for the things that they go through? Like, if someone's telling you something traumatic, please don't blame them and say, well, you shouldn't have did that, and then it happened. Okay, regardless of how you felt, it still happened. It's unfortunate. So yeah, I was not in the store without protection, but yet this still happened to me. Another comment that I got, and I know I'm jumping all over the place, but another comment that I got was someone was like, oh, well, I thought you actually got kidnapped. I thought somebody touched you and tried to put you in a car. I'm waiting to hear the abduction part. If you're wanting to hear this story, to hear how I jumped out of a moving car and escaped traffickers in Texas and survived, this is not the story for you. This is simply me sharing a sex trafficking attempt that I happened to luckily escape from or avoid, however you want to call it. I feel like some people on TikTok were upset because I didn't actually get kidnapped. Like, I don't know how to actually word this. I don't. But no, I didn't get kidnapped. But yes, apparently it was real close. I still can't believe that in a baby store I was being targeted as a pregnant woman in the first place. Like, that's just what it blows me. So let's go back. So I went to Bye Bye Baby. This was about 2 weeks ago now. And I was just doing a self-care day. I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram. That whole morning I got Starbucks. I got the best pedicure ever. Like, it was a really great day. And then I decided to go to Bye Bye Baby and start my registry there because I saw some really cute things online. So I get to the store. The first thing that I have to do is pee, because every time I go to the store, that's what I do. So I just want to back up and say that I parked in the maternity area of the store. I did. They have their own maternity parking if you're expecting or if you're a mom. And think, mind you, it's a baby store, so there were tons of parking spots, and there were tons of people parked in these spots because everybody in the baby store either is a mom or is about to be a mom or knows a mom or has a mom. Like, I don't know. But yeah, so I went in the store and I used the restroom that was located in the front of the store. I walked around the store. So the first thing that I wanted to do was look at some Tommy Tippy bottles, which I heard were the best. And that's another bullshit comment that I got on TikTok, was everyone saying, oh, those bottles aren't the best. These bottles are the best. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? I promise you the bottle is not the point of the story. Stay focused, okay? The actual section that I was looking in, if you've never been to Bye Bye Baby, it reminds me of a Bed Bath & Beyond. That's the kind of store it reminds me of. So, like, each section is organized in a weird way, and you kind of have to navigate through the store a specific way. Like, it's not just one aisle and then you're out. So within this store, they had like, this is how, I don't know if y'all can see that. This is how the sections are shaped. So once you go in a section, you have to go back out. You can't keep going through it type stuff. So it's easy for me to notice that someone is either right up under me or following me or whatever the case may be. So I'm looking in the Tommy Tippy section. They have the bottles, they have the pacifiers, they have all the Tommy Tippy stuff together. And there's this guy that comes up behind me and he starts shopping in the same Tommy Tippy section. And so in my mind, I'm aggravated because I'm like, it ain't, you know, it's not that many people in the store for you to be this close to me. That was my first thought in my mind. Like, dog, COVID's still going around. Like, you know, like, all right, cool. So I'm like, I'm going to go shop in another area real quick while this guy get what he needs. And then I'm going to come back. So when I leave the section, this guy who was picking up stuff, putting it down, picking up stuff, putting it down. I didn't think anything of it at first because I'm like, maybe he's just a guy or a dad who came to the store because his girlfriend or somebody told him to come and pick up some more Pampers or diapers or whatever. I don't know. It really didn't hit me for a while, okay, what was going on. But at this time, I wasn't thinking that he was being a creep. I did note he had on a yellow shirt. He had like gray patches on it, like a gray section on the shoulders. It was a short sleeve shirt. Can't even say that. He had on sneakers, regular denim jeans, and he had the headset or ear set, whatever you want to call it, like an earpiece, like he was talking to someone in his earpiece. But I never really heard him say anything. He never said anything to me. So anyway, and I have like the pictures on my phone. I was going around just taking pictures of things that I might like while I was waiting for this guy to get out of the section. When I turned around again, now he's standing behind me. So then I get aggravated and I'm like, okay. You ever been in a store and you're like constantly saying, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me to a person because you feel like you're in their way? That's how it felt shopping in the store. Like, why am I trying to avoid you, but I'm still having to walk around you or say, excuse me, or feel bad because I'm in your space? That's when I knew, all right, you following me, dog. So I didn't say anything at first. When I went back into the Tommy Tippy section, that's when he came back in the section. Mind you, there's only pretty much one way in, one way out. So I'm acknowledging the fact that whatever it is that you were looking for, you should have been got it by now. Like, there's no reason why. It was too coincidental for me to leave and come back and for you to leave and come back. Like, no. So I call my sister. That's the first thing I do is I get on FaceTime with my sister. My sister's here in Florida. I was in Houston, Texas at the time. I don't know if I mentioned that. This store is in Houston, Texas, where I'm aware that trafficking happens. But still, in that moment, I'm not thinking trafficking. I'm not thinking abduction because I'm pregnant. I'm like, who wants me? Who wants to, like, what are you going to do with me? Like, what did I do? I don't know. So I'm just calling my sister. I'm like, where y'all at? What are y'all doing? I'm forming a regular conversation. Because now I'm like, maybe this person will stop being weird if they see that I'm on the phone or whatever. And so I tell my sister, yeah, I'm looking at the Tommy Tippy, whatever. And I'm just being very loud. I'm letting her know where I am. And my sister also has my location as well. So she knew where I was in the store. But that's about 13 hours away. So then I leave the section because obviously he didn't catch the hint. And he was still standing there behind me, just standing there, y'all. So I walked out of the section. And now I'm just walking down the main hall in the store. And I have my phone up. And I'm like, do you see this, right? So I'm talking to my sister like, you see this guy following me. And so then I get mad and I'm like, I hope he knows that I have pepper spray. Like, and people were mad at me on TikTok because I said that. Never let the person know that you have something. That wasn't, again, that's not the only thing I had in my purse if I had to defend myself. That was me basically calling attention to myself. And I'm glad I did because other people working in the store will get there. But yeah, that was my first point of causing attention to myself and basically letting him and anybody else in the vicinity know that I felt uncomfortable. That was why I said what I said. And I also was on my phone with my sister the whole time. So I'm like, you see this guy, right? I hope he knows I got pepper spray in my purse. Like, I don't know why he keeps following me. And so, you know, I don't know. Black people, forget black people. Me, I'm gonna talk junk. So right now, again, I'm not thinking this guy is gonna actually harm me. I'm just thinking he's being weird, and I don't like it. And I was starting to get a little confused because I know you don't work here. And that's the only time where I've really been followed around the store. Is if somebody worked there, you know, they be in whatever. Dude didn't even work there. So I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, what is your point? It still didn't click to me yet. So now I'm in another section. I literally just ducked off in a section with like the bathtubs and stupid stuff like that because I really just wanted to see now if he was gonna keep following me. And Whitney was like, where is he at? Where is he at? Showing the phone, he's in the rear of me. He's right there. I said, you see him, right? So at that point, I'm screaming loud, like, why is this guy following me in the store? And so when a lady comes over, because she catches my drift that I'm causing attention to myself, she says really loudly, ma'am, are you okay? Do you need help? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. She saw a guy following me too. So he keeps walking past the lady as she's walking towards me. Again, I'm in another section. Like, I really wish I could draw this out. But all these U-shaped sections are next to each other. So it's like coming in and out of cubbies. So she comes from across the clothing area into my little cubby that I'm in with the bathtubs. And as she's walking this way towards me, the man who was behind me is now playing it off and he's walking straight down the main aisle. And apparently he went back there and stood in the back of the store for a while. I guess just waiting to see if I was going to keep shopping or to see what was going to happen. Like, he was just sitting right there for a minute. So my sister was still on the phone and she's getting pissed the fuck off now. Like, she's getting mad. Like, okay, wait a minute. What's going on? I don't know if she put 5 and 5 together first. But at this point, I'm like, the guy is making me uncomfortable. He's following me. I don't understand. Am I doing something wrong? And I said, all I'm trying to do is make my registry. So she was like, well, can you come with me? And as we started walking towards the front, towards the registry, the main security guy comes out the back. And he has the earpiece. He's wearing all black. He has a little vest on that says security. But I read his badge, and that made me really, really happy that he had been working there for about 7 years. So he's been over security at Bye Bye Baby for 7 years. And he comes to me, and I love that they all had earpieces. So he basically was radioing out everything. Like, I don't know, people that worked under him on the security team. He radioed all the other sales attendants in the store. And basically 2 members went back there to confront him, to address him. And he came to me and was like, we're going to go question him, but I don't want you to think, like, I'll never forget he said that. I don't want you to think you're being paranoid. You're not being paranoid. Like, that's a word I hadn't even used. That's a word I didn't even feel like I was using. But for him to say that in that moment, that's when I got scared. Because I'm like, paranoid about what? What you mean? Like, and one thing about it, you'll notice I laugh when something unfortunate happens. Because number one, I've never been in this situation before in my life. I was very shook. I cried in the store. Like, it was a very overwhelming moment for me when everything fell apart for me to fully understand, like, what happened. Because it literally took me a while. I'm not going to lie to you. I've never been in a situation where I was in shock before like that. This had me shook. So when he was talking to me, it was really quick. He was just like, you're not being paranoid. If you don't mind sitting here for a moment, we just want to make sure everything's okay. And he was like, if you do decide to leave the store, make sure that someone is escorting you to your car. But just give me a moment. So he went back there to the guy. And next thing I know is everyone who didn't have radios, they were giving people radios and earpieces. It's like they wanted everybody in the store to be on the same page. So I'm sitting there and I'm just like... So I text everybody in my family, and I just text everybody letting them know where I was. Woo! And at this point, my mom's calling, my sister's calling. I ain't tell my daddy yet because I didn't want him to freak out. Include a bit really quick about the conversation that I had with one of the ladies who assisted me.
Do you guys typically have like people doing that in stores?
That's why we're taking this serious or more serious than usual.
Okay. Because like I've heard of it you know, I didn't know they do that at baby stores. Like,
And that's the thing. Like, we've never had it happen. I know I've heard about it in like grocery stores.
yeah,
and some
Walmart or something like that. Yeah.
But never in our store. So that's kind of scary.
And at first I thought he was just a dad. I didn't think, you know.
Yeah.
So
No, that's good. So no, I'm glad that she was able to see what was going on, and but nothing like this. So
yeah, my dad was telling me to call the police to escort me and stuff, and I was like,
no,
should I?
Like I said, we're gonna do that for you right now. She checked everything for you.
Okay.
If you see anything suspicious, turn back around, come back, and we'll call the cops. Okay.
Another thing that happened on TikTok, a lot of people were saying, oh, we think the store is involved. Look, they might be. I don't know. I can't attest to that. What I can say is that this team at this location at Bye Bye Baby made me feel so safe and so secure. And they made me feel like they're the one reason why I completed my registry there. They're the one reason why I would continue shopping from Bye Bye Baby at all. Because the way they handled this shit was top tier. And I've worked in customer service a lot in the past. They were top freaking tier, y'all. Like, a lot of people got it confused saying I was in there for 3 or 4 hours. I was not. I was in the store for about 2 hours for real. One, because I was kind of scared to go home. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't want to leave yet. But two, because I really wanted to complete my registry. And so when I walked around for about an hour completing my registry, after that, the ladies did escort me back to my car. I don't want to jump around, so let's complete the story. They asked him to leave the store. And when they questioned him, basically I was just told that he was acting like he couldn't speak English. Another lady told me, like, when we had walked up to the registry area, one of the sales reps that were in the back, because they have like a sales rep in every section of the store, so clothing, cribs, accessories, strollers, they have sales reps in every, so it was like about 6 different people in that store at the same time that were working there on top of the security. And so they all had like different perspectives of the story of what was happening, and they all saw this guy. Every time you asked someone that was working there, like, yeah, every time we saw you, we saw him. And so some people on TikTok were saying he was trying to act like he was shopping with you. Another person was, this is what I think happened. I think the guy was trying to make me so uncomfortable that I left the store. Because the part of me in the beginning was like, bro, I'll just go to a different Bye Bye Baby. If I would have left the store and wouldn't have caused attention to myself and wouldn't have said anything, he would have got me as soon as I walked outside. Because when they asked him to leave and he was acting like he didn't speak English, when he left without buying anything, he had got into a white van with tinted windows that was parked in the front of the store. And apparently they couldn't confirm how many other people were in the van, but there were other people in the van. So there were a team of people in on this, not just him. And I don't think a lot of people that were in the comments on TikTok were like, oh, well, he didn't touch you, he didn't say anything to you. I'm trying to figure out where the abduction came from. The abductions that I've been hearing about in Texas, it's all coming from plots and plans. Like, they don't make themselves known. They want you to be comfortable. Most of the times they either have a woman coming up to you, asking you a question while they drug you from behind. Sometimes they'll leave something in a napkin on your car. Sometimes they've been leaving out the strollers or the baby stuff. Like, it's all a scam. It's all a scheme, right? So him making himself seem like a regular dad shopping in the store for the same bottles that I'm shopping for. And no, he wasn't aggressive with me, but it was just obvious. Like, and that's what made me so upset. I'm always very aware. I'm always borderline paranoid in stores because my dad's a military dad. He's also very overprotective. My mom is too. So that's why, of course, I'm not going to go anywhere without protection. I'm never going to tell you or anybody else on this app what I got in my purse. Just know, best believe, you're never going to catch me. In my mind, being in that store, that wasn't the first thing that I'm thinking, that I got somebody in the motherfucking Bye Bye Baby. Like, that is what, it doesn't even make sense to me even now. Like, that just, it was sick to my stomach for me to hear that they were targeting women in a store that they're supposed to be excited and safe, and that's the one place, you know what I'm saying? I haven't been to a Walmart in months for real, because I've heard this story before. I don't go out at night. I don't go to gas stations by myself. I don't even touch the gas pump for real. Like, so you try to be so, as women, as black women specifically, we try to be so precautious about things. And just to hear that even in that moment when you're minding your own business and it was very discouraging for me, because I didn't even know how many threats were out there as a pregnant woman, that's actually what they target in Houston, Texas specifically. It's all over the country. But just to know that there's a market of people who are trying to make money off of your child. And so for people who didn't know, apparently it was like a 2-for-1. So they would have cut my baby out of my belly, sold my baby. They would have, if I would have survived, either sold my organs or sold me into a sex trafficking ring. There are so many terrible things that happen when women get abducted. And it's just sick as hell for the comments that I received on TikTok, which is why I wanted to share my story, because that video's gotten over 500,000 views. And I have so many other videos on there kind of going in depth and explaining things. But I really just wanted to emphasize the fact that I shared my story not because I wanted attention, but because I want to bring awareness to the fact that I got lucky. I got really, really lucky. Something so small and mere. And I'm not going to cry because my makeup looks really cute. But this is sad as fuck. Like, I don't get how people can be disgusting in the comments. And I mean, that's their business. They got to go to God about that. Not me. I don't really care. But for real, I got lucky. But think about how many women didn't. Like, just to find out after this story came out, there was a woman in Houston, Texas, a week before this happened to me, who was found in the woods with her baby cut out of her belly. Now, luckily, she survived and she didn't bleed out and she wasn't sold into the trafficking ring, but her child is gone. She was drugged. So when people ask me a question of like, oh, well, I thought he grabbed you, I thought, well, I'm sorry I didn't go through the whole process. I'm sorry that I wasn't drugged. I'm sorry that he wasn't able to successfully complete his mission. And I'm here able to warn people about something disgusting. Do you know how many women had appointments at that same location to start their registry that now aren't going because they were able to see my story? So I just feel like if you don't relate to this, if you don't know someone who's pregnant, or even if you're just not an empathetic person, because it didn't take for me to get pregnant and be in the situations to feel bad for women who have been sharing their abduction stories for months now. This isn't the first time you've heard something like this. And unfortunately, it might not be the last. So I'm just simply saying what happened to me. It's very unfortunate. I can't believe me and my baby went through something like this. But I am glad that it didn't go the way that was ill-intended. A lot of people asked why the store didn't call the police and were questioning whether or not the store was in on it. Like I said, I can't attest to that. I do know that a lot of police departments are in on trafficking and abductions. I do know that a lot of stores are in on it as well. But like I said, just the energy that I got, one thing I can be honest and say, I'm a very energy forward person. Like, they were beyond kind. That wasn't just kindness. They took initiative in ways that you aren't taught or paid in a customer service role. Like, the whole team really went to bat for me in ways that I am beyond grateful for. Like, and cry until the next day. Like, it took a minute for my mind to really comprehend that my baby was in danger. Like, that's something that's hard to swallow. And it changes your perspective, like as a mom, as a human being. It changes everything for me. Like I said, I was paranoid before. I was very observant before, but now it's just like, nah, I'm not putting shit past nobody. Like, I don't play games with nothing anymore. So, yeah. Leave your comments and thoughts down below. Just be courteous, because I'm not doing that negative energy on this channel anymore. I'm just not. If you don't have anything positive to say, it's going to be deleted. I'm done cussing people out for their ignorance. I'm trying to grow up, y'all. I'm trying to be better. But I love y'all. I got to go because I'm about to cry. And I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.